Hello folks and welcome back to our playthrough of Kerbal Space Program. In the last episode we kind of had some issues at first getting everything set up. Ka-chow! Welcome Gerardo, welcome to the stream. So, in the last episode, things didn't quite go as smoothly as I had hoped. So we ended up just doing another mission, I think to Minmus or something like that. But now we do finally have the Megaship for Duna all set up. I decided to do it off stream just to have everything set up and ready to go. So this is the Megaship. It's actually made up of 4 different ships. The main command module is located here, and it also includes this mobile processing lab, which we'll talk about more in just a moment. It has a another section over here for, let's see, what was this? This is our science section here. So this will have all our orbital science stuff that we'll be doing. So a science junior inside here should be a goo thing, a gravioli, thermometer. I think there's a barometer in here as well. Yes, barometer there. So yeah, a good amount of science stuff on this section. This section has a scanner, so a survey scanner. That I think I might end up leaving as a separate little thing in orbit of Duna for later missions and that sort of thing, just to eventually be able to mine on there. We're not going to be doing any mining on this trip to Duna. I think partially just because it's going to be a lot of work to try and do mining. So Dredo says you should do one last mission to refuel just to make sure you have enough fuel to get there. Well, see, I was already thinking about that. So all of these little sections have fuel containers, and then we have our main fuel on the Rockomax section here. Now you'll note I only have liquid fuel. Reason for that, we're going to be using 4 atomic rocket motors. So I unlocked that off screen while I was messing around with the other mobile processing lab that I have in orbit here, which we'll go check out now. Let's see. Telescope, okay, the Megaship Science Station, switch to. So this is something that I never really understood until recently. I always thought that when you did science in a mobile processing lab, you just transferred it over, and then eventually it would convert it over. Couple things. First of all, it's very slow to do it. But another thing is the conversion from data to science actually gives you more science based on the data that you have. So, like, for example, you know, say you have 102 data here, and then your science right now, we have 3 science in here. We're earning 1.3 science a day, which is a very, very slow rate. But if we speed this up a little bit, and by speed it up a little bit, I mean by like a lot. Now, one problem with this little science lab that I made here is it doesn't have enough power based on these little solar panels. So really this kind of thing doesn't quite go together too well. Alright, now we're really speeding up. But you're noticing that the science is actually going up quicker than the data that's being lost. So pretty much what that means is that you can get a whole bunch of science here based on just a little bit of data. So this 100 data, for example, might get us close to being 500 here. The only bad thing, though, is that to do this, you have to go through a long period of time. So you'll notice that my universal time mode, whatever, shows us in year 3, day 384. We're almost about to hit year 4 here. Reason for that is I've been testing out this mobile science lab, and as you can see, it's still very low on our... it's actually getting lower. The reason for that is we're getting lower amounts of data. So if you max out the data that's in the science lab, you can eventually generate a little bit more science, and then it also is based off of the level of the scientists that you actually have inside this lab. But we'll let this get up to about 50 science, We're probably going to pass year 4 here pretty soon, I think. Forgot how many years it goes. Alright, so we're at 50 science here. We're going to stop research because doing research takes energy, and again, unfortunately, this place doesn't have much energy. It only has about 1,000. So let's transmit that science away. That took us down to, well, 800, so that wasn't too bad. This science station itself can only really send out about 1,000, but we'll get it to continue researching. And then let's switch back over to our megaship here. Alright, Mr. Megaship. For one, let's rename it the Duna Megaship. Alright, so there's a couple of different things going on with this megaship here. For one, let's transfer over some monopropellant from this section. So this is a leftover section of the lander. The lander is eventually only going to be this small section from here up to here. We do have a rover inside of it that will hopefully work. There's a chance that it may not, but I mean, in testing it, it's worked, so hopefully, but we'll find out. So we're transferring over our monopropellant so that we're all stocked up. Drodo says, I say 6 out of 10 that that thing is going to make it. Well, we'll find out at the very least. Oh. Okay, so the problem that I just did is by spending all that time waiting to get science, I actually surpassed my little node here that I had all set up. Because I did have a node set up that was going to take us right into an orbit path with Duna, and actually, it's still on path? Or is it just because... Why does this thing still show that it's on path? Maybe we are still on path? Let's see. Drodo says never mind, 4 out of 10. Oh. Alright, so we're going to add a maneuver here. Expand it out. Then begin our little zoom out from here. Actually expanded it way too out. Alright, so that's the position, that's our closest approach. Let's move this over. Maybe. Is Duna the Mars one? Yes, it is. So Duna's this little planet that's right here. I can actually focus a view on it. But, we're going to wait for that until we at least get our little approach here figured out. Okay, so that goes like that, and there's something weird that goes on here for some reason. What if I get to here, add a maneuver, and slow us down a bit? No, that's going to be slowing us down way too much. Okay, hold on. We're going to get this figured out. And if not, I'll just revert to the save that I made. Ilya, welcome to the stream. Not entirely sure what you just said there. Hold on, let me bring up... Oh, hi friends. Okay. That I understood. Yes, right now we are currently attempting to figure out a way to get to Duna. Trying to move our orbit path around here. Closest approach, target position. Okay, you know what? I am going to revert back to the previous save that I had. Duna LP, yeah. Since that one actually gave me the little thing that I needed. Mr. Cabe, and then I don't know what the rest of that is. Welcome to the stream. I don't understand you, but welcome, nevertheless. Alright, so this little save actually gives us the path to Duna, and it's only about 1100, well, 1150 as far as the amount of delta V that we need. So before I leave, let's transfer over that monopropellant. And we have 1 day, 5 hours, and 23 minutes left till we're ready to go. Transferring over all this wonderful stuff. Alright, that's filled on monopropellant, that's filled, and that's filled. Okay. Now, one thing about our whole orbit path here is we're going to be starting out from a height of about 76,000 meters. Reason for that is I was going through some videos from, it was either from Scott Manley or it was from someone, and either Scott Manley or Marcus House, someone that I'm subscribed to, that also does Kerbal Space Program videos, and it pretty much gave me the information that I needed to get a general sense on like how we would do this whole mess. So whenever you are doing like any sort of maneuver to get to another location, whether it's the moon or whether it's Duna, you want to do it from the lowest, from your lowest like approach, or your periapsis, having that be like the lowest possible. So I figured 76,000 is a good safe mark. Below 70,000 you get into the atmosphere a little bit, and that's really pushing it, so not looking to do that with this contraption. Anyways, let's position this whole big monstrosity to the location that we need. Then we'll time warp to the maneuver. Now when we leave, we'll be using the remnants of this Skipper liquid fuel engine just to start us out. After that, we'll switch over to the atomic engines. We'll have to flip the craft, but it should be doable relatively well anyways. Alright. Warp to next maneuver, which is going to take us a few days. But yes, totally have discovered now that this mobile processing lab is so much more useful than what I previously understood. So definitely excited to make use of it. Probably the biggest issue I might have is being able to communicate from here with Kerbal. Trado says, so tell us your plan step by step. So the general plan is we'll start out, once we get to our maneuver, from this location over here. We'll make a burn, and then we'll try to get as much of a burn going as possible. Then we'll have to switch over to our atomic engines. It's possible, using the atomic engines, that we might have to actually wait a couple orbits. Hopefully that doesn't mess up our path to Duna too much. But at the very least, the atomic engines should be able to give us enough of a... Well, they'll be able to last a long time for us at the very least. So, that's one good thing going for us. I forgot how long this takes, having to wait. I don't suppose it's possible. No, because... Okay. You know what? We're going to hold a moment. We're going to switch to the science station. So let's look at our general time. So it's currently year 3, day 367. This is going to take us 1 day, 3 hours. So we want day 368 around 3:48. Okay. So let's switch to the Megaship science station so we can actually time warp to a decent time here. Oh, wait a second. Let's check that again. I don't know if I went a little too quickly there, or if, Okay, so we're down to 1 hour 53 minutes. That super time acceleration thing is a little confusing at times. But yeah, generally, or well, hopefully, we'll be able to get there. I hope I don't have too much mass on this thing for everything to get us up to this delta V. So what's plan B if everything goes to shit? Well, I mean, I think with the atomic engines, I should be able to generate enough delta V where I can return back to Kerbal if things go badly. We're going to escape Kerbal out around here, which will be about 3 days. It's a little past the orbit of Minmus. So yeah, that'll be like our the Kerbal escape area will be the place that we will be like our last little abort path. Easy abort path anyways. We should still be able to do it even then, but oh, we'll find out. Yeah, I currently have 6 Kerbalnauts on board. Omar, welcome to the stream. Yes, we are almost ready to start our burn towards Duna here. Almost there. And one good thing about once I burn through this, I'll be able to transfer over whatever remains to, or well, I'll be able to jettison this, which will take away some of the mass, and hopefully the rest of this body will be able to go a little bit quicker. Oh. Okay, phew. For a moment I was scared that it was going to overshoot it. I mean, going to Duna, it won't affect things too much, possibly, but... Burn! Alright, so right now it's showing us a burn of 1 minute 48 seconds, and that's just with the skipper, which is a very powerful engine. It has more power than all 4 of our atomic engines put together. And that is it for the skipper. Oh, did I... I decoupled the wrong thing, I think? Or maybe not. Well, I did kinda decouple the wrong thing. Oh well. We'll be able to make it work, I hope. Alright, let's flip this contraption around. Control from there. Activate the engines. Oh, wait a second. Alright, how are we looking on our holding here? We're kinda past our periapsis a bit. Probably if we reach this location, we'll probably want to make another pass. Yeah, let's hold for a moment. Make another pass. Warp to the maneuver. Okay, is this still gonna take us over there, though? Recalculating this mess. Alright, 805, that's exactly what we were at. Alright. Yeah, the one thing with atomic engines is because, oh hey, we had a little eclipse there. I think that was the first time I've ever seen an eclipse in Kerbal Space Program. That's kind of neat. Anyways, before I got off track, so if we're going to make this work, yeah. Oh wait, no, I remember what I was going to say now. Sorry, brain fart. I was mesmerized by the eclipse. So the atomic engines, from what I have read, because they have such low thrusts and they take a while to get going, yeah, sometimes you do have to do the multiple pass sort of thing. Oh, hold on a second. Alright, so this says a burn of 3 minutes 24 seconds. Oh, I probably should have actually started it like a while ago. Oh well. Alright, so we're going. And let's hope that we can make this work. Alright, let's check out our apoapsis. It's gradually extending out. Not even past where the moon is, though. can't accelerate at all doing this. Well, fudge. Okay, looks like we'll have to do one more pass here. So what's my space company name? Is it Space Y? Is that what you were trying to say there, Gerardo? I don't know what I would call this company. I know one thing that I've used in various role-playing capacities is Infinity Enterprises. Could maybe call it something like that. Alright, so our periapsis is moving. Well, I think we are on our way towards Duna. I guess that's the one good thing about doing these long interstellar missions is... Wait, why is the Kerbal polar relay all the way out there? I don't remember sending that all the way out there. Okay, well, let's wait a moment here. Get rid of that. So we're gonna escape Kerbal in like just a moment. Well, not exactly just a moment. Once we're outside of Kerbal here, I'll make my next maneuver. Come on, you're almost there. Well, at least the good news is that we still have contact with Kerbal here, with our one little satellite dish that we have. Okay. Well, while we are doing that, let's do a crew report. Crew reports while in space high over the sun. We'll keep that. Let's send a Kerbal out to do an EVA. Keep that experiment. Alright, let's transfer over some crew now. So Valentina is our scientist. Want to keep her in there. Albin and Bob are two science people. Let's just check on them real quick here. So this is our little science area where they get to do all their fun little science experiment stuff. Oh, hold on. How do I get out of this view? Okay, there we go. So let's give them some science to work with. Review stored data, process in the lab. 20 data equals 100 science. Next we'll review the reports. 12 data equals 60 science. And we can start our research. So we got 32 data in here, not too much. But while we are here, let's get all our other data stuff. Material study while in space high over the sun. We'll process that in the lab. Open this up. We got lots of data that we can all process up in the lab here. And then we can select clean experiments, which is going to reset our materials bay and our goo container. Let's see. We also have stuff on this as well. I don't think we can do... Nope, we can't do atmospheric analysis. Do we have any... Oh, there's the rover. Rover. I'm trying to get to your little science things, but your little... Oh, I can't really do control from here. I mean, I can do control from here, but it's not, like, it's not really what I wanted. Because he has science experiments on here. There we go. All gravity data. Oh, I can't transfer it from there? I guess because it's not a technical transfer thing. Well, fudge. I would probably have to EVA a scientist, I think. So let's save. Just in case I actually lose someone here, which is a very good possibility. Alright, have you go down. Not logging the temperature. There it is. Okay. Take the data. Now easily make your way back here. Grab! Haha! Alright. I made that work. I am very, very happy. Alright, review stored data. Well, why can't we send that to the lab? Hold on. Okay, let's try transferring the crew. Maybe that's what I need to do. Or, well, let's see. What he accidentally... He did accidentally let go there, Gerardo, yes. But fortunately I was able to give him a couple spurts and get him over to where he needed to be. Come on, don't you really mess this up here. How do you... Okay. Oh, I remember now. Okay. Oh, this is like the worst thing, trying to get this guy over here. Okay. We'll have him board this section. And then review. Gravity scan while high over the sun. For whatever reason, it's not letting us transfer it here. I don't understand why. Oh well. Transfer you back over there. Okay. Enough fooling around. Alright, so we gotta finish doing our maneuver here. So it's not a descending node sort of thing. So why are you not... There we go. That'll hit us with a Duna encounter. So in 6 minutes, we get to burn a little bit more prograde. Speed us along here. Oh. Okay. Omar says, I think you need to use the antenna to send data. Well, I'm not really looking to send data from here to Kerbal. I'm trying to send it to the science lab, the mobile processing lab. And for some reason, it's not taking it. Alright, we are set for the encounter. See if we can get our periapsis a little bit closer. And that's probably going to be as close as we can get, because now it's starting to go back up, so should be workable, I think. 31 million. Ugh. I'd like if it was closer, but okay. Let's see. Oh, hey, I was able to upgrade people. So now I got a couple level 2 scientists. Oh wait, no. A level 2 scientist. And then a level 1 scientist. Gerardo says you should build a small base that you can drop from orbit. This base could serve like a laboratory that could carry the rovers. A possibility later on. For the moment, though, we're just gonna head on out. So this is gonna take like a whole year to get there. But look at all this science we're getting just from all that data that we had. That is just so juicy science. Yum yum. Now the big thing that is going to see if I actually made this right is as soon as this gets up to 500 science, I'm going to attempt to transmit it. Are we still... We're still sort of in range. Actually, we're losing range. That's not good. Our signal strength is falling off. No! Well, in that case, we may have to actually do something else here. What are you going to spend all that science on? I haven't decided yet. There's still a few other technologies that I have to learn. I did finally upgrade the science, not the science, the, whatchamacallit, the research and development. I guess the science place. I finished all of that stuff, and so that's a real nice little thing for having the research and development. Okay, so let's focus on Duna here and see if we can change our periapsis on that a little bit. Alright, doesn't look like anything done from there is going to do it. Okay, let's see. Is that the thing that I want to see? Yes, okay. That's what we needed to do. Careful. Okay, how do you make... Oh, there you go. Mouse wheel. Make smaller increments. And... let's see... Sort of makes smaller increments, it doesn't always. Alright, I think we can make this one work. Only have to move 12.6 meters per second. And we're also going to have to wait until we have some manner of connection with the with Kerbal again to send a signal for all our science stuff. Warp to next maneuver. Gerardo asks, how are you going to get the signal back? So right now, we don't have the signal because Kerbal is actually a little bit away from where we are. So what we're going to have to do is kind of change, or we're going to have to wait until Kerbal's like closer to us, pretty much, is what we're going to have to do. A million off. That should work, I hope. So yeah, if we look at where we're heading, and then where Kerbal's at. So Kerbal is all the way over here. We're all the way over here, so we're like way on the other side of the system right now. So let's warp over to Duna, to the periapsis there. Almost there, don't fuck it up. Well, unless we encounter some major source of space debris, we should be alright. Biggest thing is going to be slowing us down once we get to the periapsis of, I should save. Probably should save, just to be sure. Duna approach. Save. Alright, so just something that I'm going to check. I'm going to see if I can make our periapsis a little bit closer to where we want to be. Because if we can get the periapsis closer, it'll make slowing us down easier. I think, anyways. Or just shoot us off completely into hell or something. Alright, so that takes us to 95. I don't know what exactly the atmosphere is, where the atmosphere starts on Duna. So we'll try 60,000. Well, back to watch more Dr. Phil. Are you watching Dr. Phil? He's such a horrible man. Also, I don't like how some of this is rotating around like that. That's not a good sign. Please don't break off pieces. No? Okay. I'll take your word for it, Gerardo. I never said nothing. Yeah, I think part of the reason why these couple wings are sort of bouncing around like that is because we do have these reaction wheels attached to them as well. I think it will generally help us out making use of them, but not entirely sure. Alright, that's still just the same thing, so we can close that up for the moment. Warp us to our next little location here. Warp to next maneuver. I'm just an image of your imagination. I might be crazy, but not that crazy. Almost there. Just gotta do a little burn here. And how close does that take us now? Our periapsis is at 64,000. That should work. So let's head on in. Biggest thing is going to be trying to slow us down. But I think we can do it. Alright, so we can see Duna in the distance. We're actually within the pull of Duna, it looks like. Gerardo says, I see the Kerban people and I wonder where do they shit. That's a horrible thing to say. EVA report while in space high over Duna. Board. What else can we do here? We can do a crew report. We'll keep that experiment. Observe the materials bay. And send all that lovely little data. Oh, I guess I have a gravioli on this thing. I went all the way... So that's why I couldn't actually put the gravioli stuff in there. Because I already got the gravioli stuff. Oh, okay. I'm a fool. That's why I couldn't do it. Let me just discard that data then. Crew report. I haven't shitted in a year. Please help. How much data do we have in here right now anyways? We're at 475. We still have quite a bit of room for data. Alright, let's clean out our experiments here. What am I missing? What did I forget to do? Oh, the goo. I was like, I thought there was 2 experiments that I needed. Okay. Clean the experiments. And look at that, 587. We can close this up. Trado says, can you see how many people are watching the stream? Right now it looks like 3 people. And I think they're all on YouTube because that's what my YouTube screen says. No one on Twitch today. Jim Foxy Boy, welcome to the stream. We are on approach to Duna here, and hopefully we will be able to slow ourselves down enough that we don't like crash or something. It would suck if we were trying to slow down and we crashed into Ike there. What's 3 minus 1 equal? Oh, haha, Gerardo, haha. Alright, start to slow us down. How's the fuel looking? It's still there. Have we bypassed the periapsis yet? No. Craft seems pretty balanced there, just don't look it. Yeah, so far it's not a bad craft. All I need for fuel is the will to live. I hope this 55,000 isn't completely inside the Let's warp here, get a little closer. But yeah, I hope that 55,000 isn't inside the atmosphere of Duna. Alright, we're gonna try waiting No, let's not wait too long. Because the problem with waiting is with the atomic engines, they're not exactly the quickest. Come on. Get this into orbit of Duna. Omar says, your fine atmospheric height in Duna is 50,000. Oh, okay. Thank you for that, Omar. I knew it was lower than Kerbin's, I just couldn't remember exactly what. Frodo says, if it's just like Mars, the atmosphere is pretty shit. Well, it is not, there isn't too much to the atmosphere of Duna. And we are about to pass the periapsis here. We've passed the periapsis. This Duna escape is gradually getting to a better position. Well, the problem that we have right now, Jim Foxy Boy says you could dip down a little below 50, help slow down, but don't go down too far. Yeah, I probably maybe should have done something like that. Okay, there we go. Well, we're completely in orbit of Duna now. The problem is this baby's not going to make it back. So we're going to have to rely on sending our research data whenever we get closer. So I suppose we could actually probably speed this baby up a little bit, speed time up a little bit. Drena says, is shit condenser a curse word to you? Well, it has shit, so of course it is. Kerbin is still on the other side of the whole universe there. Jim Foxy Boy says, normally going to Mars, they burn to make orbit, then use aerobraking slow, come down a few orbits. Huh. I suppose I could probably try that out from the... get to the apoapsis here. Then get us down into probably a little under 50,000. Attempt it anyways, but we will save before we do that. Okay, so let's save. Duna orbit. Autocorrect strikes again. Oh. Alright, let's try just getting down to 45,000. And let's see if our whole craft here will survive that. And being able to use that sort of arrow break us a little. Or the whole craft might explode in one giant mess, which, you know, would add a little bit of entertainment value. We haven't had any failures yet. Alright, so we are slowing down a decent amount there. Oh, bring in solar panels? Yeah, that is a smart idea. Thank you for that, Jim. Yeah, that would be a very bad thing to do. Meepster 3000, welcome to the stream. Alright, well, it did take us down a few million for our apoapsis. How's our periapsis doing? It's still doing alright, so. Let's do another warp through all of this. Oh, I did complete a mission here. The flyby Duna. Do we have any other missions that we can do? We might. Let's go back to the Space Center. Meepster asks, what's the goal of this mission? Well, the goal of this mission is to land on Duna. So we're currently over Duna right now. Oh, hold on. Mission control. Plant a flag on the moon. Rescue that guy. Build a new orbital station around Ike. None of this stuff is really what I was looking for here. Well, fudge. Oh well. Let's return to the Megaship here then. Get rid of this debris. But yeah, our goal is to land our lander on Duna there. So our lander is this contraption right here. I hope that it has enough to go, but Jim says I still got to do my moon rescue contract from the older Kerbal Space Program mission or version. It happens. It happens. Yeah, rescue missions I'm definitely not very good at. Because you have to get to a certain position in your orbit, and it's just a mess. Now, planting the flag missions, hey, I can do those all day long. Did we even... I guess we eventually did pass through the periapsis there at some point. Wonder if yours is stuck halfway to the pole. That'll pose a new wrinkle to the mission. Are you saying I would be better served by being closer to like having a more like orbit like where Ike is, a more polar or equatorial orbit than the polar orbit? Troda says, but last time you were having trouble landing the craft. Yeah, I have had some issues. Now I did kind of correct a couple things, made sure that my landing gear is positioned right where it's not going to necessarily fall over. Hopefully, anyways. Jim says, sorry, I meant the moon rescue mission on your contract list doesn't show where Kerbal is till after you take the contract. Oh dear. That really sucks if it doesn't show where the Kerbal is. How's our slowdown doing? It's getting there. I probably could use some of my monopropellant to help slow us down as well. Look at all that cocaine. Horrible person, Gerardo. And I think they've changed up the sounds on the RCS thrusters, because I don't remember them being this loud before. Sounds like you stuck a bunch of puff monopropellant engines to the craft instead. It's not though, it's just my regular RCS thrusters. Yeah, I swear they, with the new update that they did today, they did change some of that around. Hell, you can hear it even when zooming out. I mean, maybe it's always been like that you could hear it when zooming out, but still. Oh, I can probably do a few more science things as well here. Let's see. Observe materials bay from Duna's upper atmosphere. Yes. 156 data. Holy crap. Oh, do I really not? I can't put it in there because I don't have enough room. Bastards. Jim says I'd probably bring orbit down just a touch more at the high side with mono instead. Although it looks like you got a ton of it anyways, wow. Yeah, right now I have 962 mono propellant. So I made sure I had plenty of that to go around. Alright, so what here can I... 88 data, I can put that in. Could always stick the data into a crew module. I suppose that is true. Well, I got my little experiment storage unit for the moment. Why do all the Kerbal people look so traumatized? Oh. Maybe it's just how they are. Alright, so since we're doing alright, let's save again our Duna orbit here. Warp over to the apoapsis, and then we can bring our periapsis down a little bit. Jim says now they look fine to me. What did you show them before the launch? I showed them what happens if they fail. If they fail their mission here. Okay, that might be a little low, but we'll find out. Oh dear, welcome to the stream. You made it to one of my streams while I'm still streaming. Hooray! Gerardo says, can you ban people from the chat? I can. Jim says, better not low enough than too low. That is true, because if you go too low, well, then you're doomed. Alright, collect all our different stuff there. Alright, our apoapsis is currently 4 million. I'm thinking probably get it maybe just a little lower than what Ike's at right now. Odir says it's a rarity, but it's 7:10 in the morning here. Ooh, way too early. Alright, so Ike's around 2 million, a little below 3 million. Jim says, this way, at least they can spend some time picking out a landing site. Note I didn't say crash site. Hopefully it won't become a crash site. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get this to 2.5 million, our apoapsis. Then once we're there, we'll bring our periapsis up a little bit above the atmosphere. I'm thinking we might try to land in the polar regions. That might be a decent place to try. Gerardo says, I really want to see a crash. Well, you're probably going to get your wish there, Gerardo. Odir says, there's a mobile game called Space Flight Simulator that's a very basic version of this. Yeah, I think I've seen something like that before. Alright, 2.5. Jim says, take care when you land below the equator. You'll have to wait a time before orbit matches with the landing site again. I suppose that's true. Alright. Let's get us warped over here. Now, I know this lander comes with some monopropellant. I'm wondering if maybe I should try to use some of that. and trying to get back down, and trying to get down to Duna. Well, let's save. Duna orbit. Save. Tretta says, Newbie, did you fake the moon landing? I did not fake the moon landing. I landed perfectly fine. Sorta. Jim says, look like you already used mono on the lander. Actually, it was just electric charge, which... I think the reason it's using the electric charge was because of the probe. I think. Actually, I don't know why it's using electric charge. Is it the lab? Okay, it was the lab that was using the electric charge. So let's send over some electric charge there. Same thing to make sure our probe there is good for our rover. And the battery on our rover. Alright. Save again. Everything should be set up properly. So let's Amos retrograde here. Oh dear ass, do you use OBS for streaming or the inbuilt YouTube one? I actually use OBS for streaming. It's worked pretty well for me for the most part. I've had some issues with it every now and then. For example, like when I got this new headset, for whatever reason, it would... When I would do streams, it would hold it, and then for some reason it would lose it. And then my mic audio would be gone from the rest of the stream. Jim says you could disable the batteries or give them a lower priority for lander and rover. Yeah, I know there's... I've seen how to disable them, but... Yeah, I think the problem was that I still had my research lab researching, but they're filled up with science, so they can't research anymore, so... Oh, I can't level up crew because they have no connection to send reports back home. Well, fudge. Okay, so... Plan to get here. Let's try and get us... What's our best plan here? I'm trying to think. Let's see if we can move that a little bit over here. I think this location here will be a good landing site. Let's see if I'm gonna move this thing the right way or not. Nope, the wrong way, I think. Gerardo says, head for the sun, that always works out. I'm not heading for the sun, Gerardo. Jim says, I've got OBS Studio as well. I need to do a few tests, find the right bitrate for streaming. I'll also be recording too. Yeah, as far as bitrate goes for streaming, I do, I think, around 4,000. Overall, it seems to work out pretty well. Doing 720 at 4,000 or 5,000. I could head to this dark portion. I just don't know if that is necessarily a good area or a bad area. Jim says 720, I would have to downgrade the quality a little bit, but yeah, thanks for the info. Yeah, my upload rate is like 8 megabits per second, or yeah, 8 megabits per second. My actual upload rate. So I'm able to make it work for the most part. How's our fuel doing? Oh geez, we're almost out of fuel. Trotta says, told you to refuel. Well, there wasn't even really too much room to refuel. I'll use my monopropellant. It'll have to work. Okay. So let's make another warp to our apoapsis there. Jim says just send a fuel tanker later. I suppose it's a possibility. With all of the science that I'll be able to send back, I'll be able to make some big Kerbalnauts ship eventually. Okay, I'm sort of over where I want to be. So, with any luck, we'll make this work. So if I get to the apoapsis and change my maneuver and go anti-normal? No, I want to go normal to change where the periapsis is located, I think, right? I think. It's always hard to tell sometimes. Come on. Are you out of... Okay, you are out of it. Okay. I just had to actually... One thing that's weird with warping is if you're going at a certain speed and then you hit the warp thing, it doesn't, like, register it, so it doesn't send you out. Normal anti-normal uses more fuel, best to pro retrograde. Well, I was thinking to try and move my periapsis here. Oh wait, not normal. Radials. Whatever. Since we don't have much fuel, let's slow us down here. Aim retrograde. We'll bring our periapsis down to... Let's try 20,000. And then we'll launch our lander. And then we'll switch out and then bring our periapsis over to 50,000. And then theoretically everything will work out all right. Theoretically. Jim says, oh, see what you were doing now? Bring periapsis back up after you launch. Yep. Yeah, I don't exactly like the location that I'm going to be going to. Looks a little bumpy, but hopefully it won't be as bad as the moon. Omar says you should make a base on Ike that drills fuel, then make a fuel station in orbit. See, eventually I want to try something like that, but I don't know. There's still a lot of work to do. Okay, so if we're going to aim periapsis, or no, prograde, we'll be facing the other direction. So we should be able to undock from there. This is the lander. Turn this around. Go prograde. Then bring our periapsis back up. Alright, we can stop now. Go to stability and then just do that. Okay, next. We have to switch over to our lander. Is our lander still on target? 19,000, it should be. Now we're going to call this Duna landing. Now it might take a couple tries for us to do this. I guess maybe aim prograde when we go in. I have no idea necessarily how this will work, but let's try it. Alright, so I guess speed us up a little bit here. Oh, but I don't want to be sped up too much. Alright, how's the apoapsis looking? It is getting down there. Let's see. Jordo says to the question of how's he doing? Not much, just spending my life playing Fallout 4. Yes, he is. Oh, fudge. I'm kind of burning up here a little. Well, at least nothing's on fire. Yeah, I'm not even at the periapsis yet, and that's... Yeah, I think this is probably a good enough location. Or good enough, I'm down far enough for this to work. Omar says, you will be fine, Duna is not that hot. Suppose that's true. Okay, so I am definitely heading towards the bottom here. Let's aim retrograde now. Because we are going to have to make use of our... What are you doing now? Suddenly acting weird for some reason. Okay, why can't you aim retrograde? Is it because of the little bit of atmosphere here? Maybe? Alright, well let's activate our engines. Why are you spinning? I don't know why. Okay, there we go. Jim says parts drag messing with things, my guess. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was a little concerned. Okay, once I slow down just a little bit more, I'll try activating my chutes here. The chutes are really just to help slow us down a little bit more. We're almost there. And then once we actually get to the surface, I know we're definitely going to have to... Can I raise the altitude? I don't know if you can raise the altitude after deploying, but you might be able to. And hopefully my rover will work well here. I know when I was doing some of my testing on back on Kerbal, like for whatever reason the rover was being really funky. Like it would go and then it would it wouldn't turn right. Now when I tested it from just what was going on at the spaceplane hangar, the rover worked fine. But when I was testing it outside of the launch pad, it was weird. Doretta says, is it weird that I have so much resources I constantly be making mini nukes? Nah, you know, if you make good use of the mini nukes, I suppose. Okay, one problem here is that this is so white. It's blinding. I might actually have to, let's see, ambient boost, light boost. Let's bring this down to like 14. Well, we can see a little bit more. Antal, welcome to the screen. Welcome to the stream. Yes, this is the Duna ice fields here. And I'm very much hoping that I have some sense of where I'm going to be landing because, yeah, I can't see a thing. No, don't you fall over. Don't you fall over. Don't, no. Oh, hell. Jim says, control orientation is a little weird between spaceplane hangar and the VAB when it comes to rovers. Uh-huh. Well, we've landed. We fell over, but we've landed. Oh dear. Alright, let's see if we can attempt to get this thing up. Probably not. Well, let's save. Duna landed. Tech legs in, only use 2 of the engines. Alright, well, let's see. Can I decouple the rover without it completely being destroyed? Well, let's find out. We got the engine plate. Decouple. No, rover! Oh yeah, come out of hibernation for one. Don't fall over, rover. Don't fall over. You've got it. You've got it. You've got it. Yay! Our rover survived. Okay. Well, back to the probe. Omar says it looks like someone needs to go out and push. Okay, I can probably decouple that engine plate now. I don't even know if that really does anything. Trying to get this thing up. Ah, hell. Well, that's why I saved Duna landed. Okay, well, let's try activating the RCS there. That doesn't really help any. And there goes everything. Dreddo says, yay, something blew up. Yes, something did blow up there. Okay, why aren't any of the wheels moving? Wheels, why aren't you turning? Oh, what the hell? Okay, seriously, what is going on here? Oh, command state partial control. That's probably why. Okay. Maybe if I... go to the rover and bring up its dish, I can get better control over it. I'm not sure if that's how it would work, but let's try it. No, it's still not working. So I'm guessing you actually have to have the probe connected all the way to the... connected all the way back home to Kerbal to actually have full control. Jim says, if dish on a lander opens, you can control since you have enough crew, but think you still need 2 pilots? Oh. Oop, oop. Oh, hell. Can you use the dish to push yourself up? I'm not sure. Let's try it. No, it doesn't seem like the dish does anything like the legs do. Because the legs actually interact, but it doesn't look like the dish actually does. Now, Jim, that thing you said about using 2 engines, is it 2 engines like on one side? Or is it 2 engines across from each other? Two engines closest to the ground. Oh, I kind of see what to do. Okay. I have an idea. Activate that one. So careful, you don't want to slide on the ground too hard. May need a slight extra push just for a moment. Yeah, I got a little bit of ground and then... There we go. There we go. All right. Thank you for that, Jim. All right, so if I extend the antenna here, then I can extend that down. Any way that I can do anything with that probe there? Nope, I still only have limited probe control, unfortunately. Alright, well let's wait and see if that comes close. Do we get any link on that? No, it doesn't look like it. Network. Guessing no relay on mothership. There is a relay on the mothership, it just doesn't have a connection. Because we have this relay right here. We can actually extend our solar panels now, I suppose. So we can get all our extra power going again. But even here we don't have a signal. So my guess would be that you need a signal with Kerbal itself. So let's see if we speed up time really quickly and get closer to Kerbal. If that does anything. Just one pilot in the lander? There is only one pilot in the lander. There's a pilot, an engineer, and a pilot, an engineer, and a scientist. Alright, I want to change up my orbit here so I can speed things up a little bit quicker. Jim says, okay, yeah, running a probe from another ship, you need an antenna and 2 pilots. You can also only make 1 hop, otherwise, yeah, it will have to run from KSP. Okay. Well, that would be the issue that we're encountering right now, then. So we're gonna change our orbit up so that we can really speed things up here as far as our time warp goes, and then we'll just wait till we get closer to Kerbal, and hopefully we can transmit then. If not, I might have to build a relay. But at least we have achieved the goal of landing on Duna here, so... getting awfully close to running out of whatever remains of our fuel here. Okay, I think at 250 we can go super fast. Oh no, we gotta be at 300,000. Jim says, make sure to send extra fuel with the relay while at it too. Smells like a resupply mission. I think we will need a resupply mission. But if I can send that science that's on here to Kerbal, we'll be able to get the full access to the really big Kerbalnauts engines and all that. And then that... once we have that, we'll be completely set, because, you know, then we can send massive things out to the edge of the galaxy, or at least the system here. Okay, so that's at 300,000. Now can we go super fast here? Yes, we can. Oh no, it has to be at 600,000 to do 10,000 all the time. Arg. We do have this. Let's check on this Kerbal polar relay thing that's going on here. It has this little thing, but Doesn't really have much in the way of control. What did I even put on this thing anyways? Oh, I think it is just a little relay dish thing. Probably need to send more of those out, but make sure they're actually, I guess, better suited. Alright, speed us up. Might as well just use up whatever fuel I have to get to the 600,000 that we need. There we go. Okay. Now hopefully this thing won't bother me when I try to go all the way to the max here. 800,000 to be at the really fast speed. But we are gradually doing something here. Jim says, makes me want to hit Duna now, though got a few stuff to finish up around Kerbin first. Yeah, Duna's, so far it doesn't seem like Duna was really that bad of a mission. Although I think it's probably going to be the last regular, this is going to be the last regular Kerbal Space Program video that I do, at least for the moment. Have a few things planned that I want to do. Few people were talking about it, and now I want to do Fallout 4, so I'm thinking probably next Thursday we'll start out Fallout 4, and then when I finish up StarCraft, I'll be switching over and doing Fallout 4 on both Tuesdays and Thursdays. Shredder says, what's the next planet you'll be going to? Not sure. We have Eve, which might be a little easier to get to. Well, I mean, it's probably around the same path of Duna as far as how easy or difficult it is. Now, landing on Eve is going to be a little difficult because of both the heat and the pressure there, the atmospheric pressure. So, not entirely sure how that would go, but definitely something to consider. I think once we get into range where we can get this information sent to Kerbin, and then we have full access to the tech tree. Oh, we're finally getting it! We have a minor connection. Now, do I have a minor connection down on the surface? That's what I want to know. Switch to. No probe control. Uh-oh. So this isn't even limited. This is no probe control at all. Although I wonder why that is. Oh, because there's no power, that's why. Completely explains it then. Not connected. Boo. Alright. I probably should have just done it from here. We have a couple connections to Kerbin out over there. Gerardo says, when the F is Fallout 76 going to be released? I think it's coming out in sometime in the fall. October, November, something like that. Kerbal is gradually catching up on us. 10%, 11%, 12%. It's almost there. Yeah, I should have actually did this. I should have went to the lander and then sped it up. Because this is working out so much easier to speed it up. 43, 44, 45. Okay, what about the probe? The probe still doesn't have any connection. Why is that? Do I actually need to set up something better here or something? I don't know. Tredo says November 14th, 2018. Okay. The engines are trying to roll. Oh, we were briefly blocked out by something here. Alright, so we have a full network connection now. Still a limited probe control, though. So, the only thing I can think of is that this thing just needs a better actual relay dish, maybe? I'm not sure. Because I thought this little Communitron would have been able to go to that, but it isn't, so I don't know how that works. I haven't tested out all that sort of stuff, so. Alright, let's go to our orbiting thing here. Jim says, oh, checked Kerbal Parts Wiki, those round dishes can't relay. So what does relay then? Alright, well, let's at least transmit this science here. We have plenty, yeah, we have plenty of electricity here. That little dish on a stick you had on your polar relay station. Well, let me finish this here. Once we're done transmitting this science, we'll head back to the Space Center. Yay, we're at like 989 now. Okay, so back to the Space Center. Let's see what sort of stuff we have that can relay then. Look through our parts and that sort of thing. Otherwise, the other ones that say relay can well relay. Well, let's just start with this. Communications. Okay, so antenna type relay, antenna type direct, that's what it is. So that's a relay, and that's a relay. Direct, direct, direct. What the hell? So you need at least this HG5 high gain antenna. Well, let's go back. Don't save. Tracking station. And where's that Kerbal polar relay? Doesn't look like that's getting anything right now. Alright, well, we've learned something today. Apparently, not every dish there is actually a relay dish. I would have thought at least that little circular thing that we were using, this Communitron, would actually work as a relay dish, but apparently I was wrong. So anything that says Communitron is bad for that. Alright, well let's look at our research and development stuff. We have ion propulsion finally available. So that could definitely be useful over the long run. We have experimental science, narrowband scanners, scans for resources and all that. Large probes. Jim says, for the relay station for Duna, use the next step up from the high gain. Maybe use a pair? Data transmitter internal. Automation. There's this really big relay antenna that we could use. Then a Communitron, but again, it's just a direct thing. Alright, well what do we want to learn next here? High performance fuel systems, very heavy rocketry. Well, I think we'll do very heavy rocketry right now. We'll finish that up. We'll finish this advanced aerodynamics. And then what we'll do is we'll return over to our command module here. And we'll let that fill up with science, pretty much. Oh, it would if I actually start research here. There we go. Okay. So we'll let this big contraption fill up with science. As soon as that is done, well, we'll continue on and do what other things we can do, I guess. Also, I probably should level up the crew here. Level 3 scientists. Orbit around the sun. Orbit around Kerbal. Why don't any of these say orbit around Duna here? Is it because we're not exactly in a good orbit of Duna? I don't know. You'd think we'd have something that says orbit around Duna. And hopefully we keep our connection for at least a little bit here, so that we can send some more of this science over. And I think I'll just have to build some big set of relay dishes to be sort of in orbit of Kerbal. Kind of like that one relay dish I had, but larger, and those 100G things that I have, or that I will research. I don't think I actually finished the research for it yet. So anyways, as we are coming to the end here, I guess a big conclusion here that we found is make sure that when you go and do relay dishes, actually have an actual relay dish here. What else did we learn from all of this mess here today? Well, I can't stress enough the importance of mobile processing labs, because that takes data of all kinds and puts it together, and then you get some massive science thing going. Jim says, might be better for them to be around Duna. The tracking station is the best asset at the moment. Huh. That could be. Although I will say, if you do use a mobile processing lab, make sure that you bring enough electric charge. It looks like this 8,000 is more than enough. But if we transfer over to our other one, which is probably also finished by now, I think anyways. Alright, this one is... oh no. Huh. I would have thought it would have been better. Jim says, orient the station a little better. Some panels might not be getting full sun. That's true. Although... oh wait, no, this is back to where I was. Hold on. I was looking at the wrong thing. I need Megaship Station, not Megaship Command Module 2. That's why it only showed one science. So, Megaship Science Station. So this is... oh, it's going through it all real quick here. How many days we've gone by. It's calculating. Okay, well, it almost completely finished up. But yeah, this amount of electricity is not going to be enough. So we're going to cheat for a moment so we can transmit this science away. It's certainly possible that I could send up something to add more electric charge and all of that to this station, but not too interested in that. Omar says, send 2 RA-15 relay antennas around the sun, make them opposite from each other, between Kerbal and Duna. The RA-15s would be enough? Because I have an RA-15 on the Kerbal polar relay right over here. Oh wait, no, this is an HE5. Never mind. Don't mind me. RA-15 is the bigger ones, I think. Don't mind me. Just made a fool of myself. Not the first time I've done this on stream, won't be the last. Alright, let's finish up this research and development here. So the RA-100, that's the big one. Let's do the heavy aerodynamics as well. All right. So if we're going to do a big one, let's start... well, we'll need a probe, first of all. Start with that. Suppose we'll end this thing here today by building a... welcome back, Gerardo. Yes, we figured out that I'm a complete fool because I sent Communitron things instead of actual relay antennas. But we're fixing that now. Engines, let's do... I do generally like the... oh, we have this one now. Although that's a really expensive engine as far as its fuel intake. Oh, must have been painful for you to discover that. It was a little bit painful. But I'm over it now. Kerbalnauts Mastodon liquid fuel engine. That's not even the really big Kerbalnauts engine, right? There's the Mammoth liquid fuel engine. That does 4,000. Oh yeah, the Rhino. That does 2,000. Okay. But I'm not supposed to be even looking at that one. The Terrier is what I wanted. Someone should have warned you? It's alright. I should have paid attention myself, but, I don't know. This is the first time I've ever really made use of relays either, so... Alright, I really don't need the Gigantor XL solar arrays. These things should work for a relay, I would think. Because the probe core takes 1.8 a minute. Those solar panels do 1.6. So two of those deployable solar panels should be more than enough. So what are you building? I am building a heavy relay antenna. There we go. Sorry, I had to think about that for a moment, how you spell antenna. Jim says, relay, turns out his rover on Duna doesn't have connection. Yeah. I thought the little ones that I was using would have been able to link it up, but I was very wrong. So hopefully this super heavy duty relay will be good enough for it. Pickle Mike says, God damn, I need that to replace my shitty Wi-Fi that I have. Yeah, this relay should be able to do it. It is 100G. So I'm assuming that's supposed to be like 100 gigabits or something like that. Definitely pretty good. Maybe I'll have better Wi-Fi one day. Good luck with that, Gerardo. Good luck with that. Alright, getting sidetracked here. Size. No, I don't want the skipper. I want the mainsail. Jim says to Gerardo, what antenna do you run for your Wi-Fi? Just place it into a metal can, aim open end to router. I have a stick connected to cardboard box as my router. Alright, where's that other tail fin now? At the winglets. Go back to name sorting. Alright, so let's see if this heavy relay antenna is able to get where we need to go. Dredo says, are you going to send it to the sun? Not exactly to the sun. Hopefully I can put it on an escape vector from Kerbal. We'll find out, though. Jim says, I have a USB Wi-Fi dongle. Ooh. Use the little tin tray as a back reflector. It works good. Till cats knock router off the table in front room now and then. Darn cats. Yeah, I have a little USB Wi-Fi dongle when I have to use it, but most of the time I just use Ethernet. Omar says, I think the level of the tracking station also affects the communication level. I think that is true, Omar. Because I remember seeing something about a G something on the tracking station. But hopefully this little thing can help us out. Jim says, not my cast. Mind you, dongle on USB extension cord, so I can set it on a shelf next to a workstation. Interesting. I've never put a dongle on a extension USB. I've just always put it in the actual slot. Though I suppose if that might make using a reflector of some kind better. Dredo asks, so for the Fallout 4 series, is it RP or gameplay? I am... At most, I would maybe classify it as maybe a light RP. So more of a narrated RP than a actual full-on RP like I did for Skyrim, for example. Oh, cast the cats. I guess that makes more sense. Also, imagine drag the dish would produce. Ouch. Yes. Yeah, that's why I put it on top, because if I put it on the sides, the whole rocket was going to fall over. So yeah, I'm guessing that some of the things that I named a relay isn't an actual relay either. Probably. No payload fairings? Oh, the little thing that goes around it. Nah, I didn't include that this time. I figured for the most part it probably worked out alright. Oh. I have a thing about the payload fairings because back when it was first released, those things in Kerbal Space Program, and I'd go to use it, and I think I put too much stuff in it, so the whole thing would rock all around, and it would just be a big mess. I think it's a little bit better than what it was. Dredo says, why make rockets when you can build trillions of rocket thrusters on a planet and move it to the destination? It's an interesting idea there, Gerardo. Alright, so let's see. Well, actually, first things first, let's return to the Space Center. Now that we have our little relay dish there in orbit, and we don't have to worry about it falling back to Kerbin. So if we look at the tracking station, the max DSN power is 50. Upgrading it brings it to 250, though that is an expensive upgrade. So I really don't want to do that right at this moment. Jim says probably didn't see the video from Scott Manley about the amount of fuel required to push a planet. Moon even think he said you'd need more mass than the planet itself. Would that be possible? Well, it would certainly ruin the whole concept from Earth 2150, where the US and the Soviets, or no, not the Soviets, but the Russians, or their current analog, the Eurasian dynasty, they blow up a bunch of nukes in the Arctic, and that sends the Earth flying towards the sun. That would kind of ruin that whole plan. Alright, so let's put this out on... Should we put it on an orbit that takes it into the sun? I guess I could do something like that. Probably at an orbit between... Let's aim for an orbit between Duna and then between Kerbin. So like probably around there. That could work. Jim says payload fairings may still have a bit of pull aerodynamically. Fins help with that. Yeah, I definitely agree that the having little fins on your craft do generally help out a great deal. Do I ever use the Skipper? The Skipper class of engine? The smaller version of the mainsail or whatever? I use that every now and then. I think I use that on the remnants of the ship that went to Duna. Oh, this big engine might just be able to make most of this trip over here. Interesting. Well, of course, even at like 1/3 impulse or whatever, this engine is producing more thrust than all 4 of our atomic engines that we were using before. That's kind of sad. Alright. Let's see. So that's there, so we can actually probably warp all the way out over there. It'll take 276 days. Jim says, I tend to avoid mainsail unless I desperately need the extra push. Just the ISP isn't as good, more a booster thing than core engine, but that's just me. Well, I will say that it seems to have done its job pretty well here. Because I haven't even gotten to the second stage of this probe here, and it's already pushed it out almost towards Duna. Alright, so we have that. We have the relay here. Is the relay working? Oh, there's no electric charge. Oh no! Fudge! I forgot to deploy the solar panels. Okay, we're gonna do a little cheat. Instead of having to lose the whole thing. Oops. Because, yeah, otherwise there was no saving this probe. RIP. Alright, turn off the cheats. And eventually this thing should hopefully end up getting some charge going. There we go. I was so intense on making my way here that I completely forgot about, everything else. And that it completely explained why I had no actual setup as far as getting this thing, why it wasn't transmitting is what I'm trying to say here. Alright, warp there. Then we'll kind of center our orbit here a little bit. Gerardo says, I want to buy an old-fashioned pirate ship and put wheels and drive it around while playing the theme song from Pirates of the Caribbean. Interesting there, Gerardo. Actually, no, I want prograde. Alright, so we lost that. Activate the other engine. So this will be... we'll name this our 15 billion probe. And we'll keep it at a level of 15 billion of the sun. Jim says, just be thankful you don't have to orient the dish as well. Remotech. Remotech style? Remote style? Oh. Yes. If you had to orient the dish here, that would kind of suck. We're almost there. And I do really love this little Terrier engine. It just, it has such a nice fuel efficiency to it. Our connection's getting a little hazy. And yeah, that Kerbal polar relay, that's like really just not working at all. Remote Tech mod, you had to also set targets for the relays, time delays, though I heard been some problems, not sure if it got fixed since. Huh. Oh, that reminded me. Speaking of mods, Kerbal Space Program now has Steam Workshop access, which is like long overdue, but it does finally have it now, so hooray! Although, from what I've seen posted up there, it's mostly just ship designs right now. No actual mods, but I'm sure the mods will come in time. But yeah, that's definitely long overdue. Yeah, that Kerbal polar relay doesn't even have any access over there, so I think I'll probably just terminate that pretty soon here. Once I get this thing situated to its proper orbit. Jim says, cool, though didn't get much into Steam. Yeah, rebel me. Got game from Squad back in the day. Aha! I always forget that they did release it there. And they released it on GOG.com and all that. Yeah. I like Steam for the most part. I understand that they are still a manner of digital rights management, DRM and all that, but for the most part, they do relatively decent, so. I did actually see a thing on Reddit earlier today. There's a link that you can look at that shows you just how much money you've spent on Steam over the course of your account or whatever. Mine was only $1,700, so could have been much worse. I expected it to be much worse. Okay, so it looks like the relay antenna works pretty well for keeping track even all the way across the system. But getting to Duna, that one still could be better. Drodo, YouTube did not like your use of... Actually, you know what? I just realized YouTube doesn't like you saying fuck, but you can say shit all you want. And it doesn't pick it up. And you said Steam once fucked up and released a bunch of people's info? Have they? Oh, it's so hard to keep track of all the different companies that have had data breaches like that. Okay, that should work. They trying to hide the truth? And Jim says, need to work on getting closer to Duna. Think the dishes there don't pick up things as well until you get closer. Yeah, I think I'm going to have one dish here. And then I might try to put a dish at Duna itself. Try to get one out over there. That would probably be a good thing to do. But I think we're going to take this time to end it for today. So, yeah, because we've gone 2 hours and 36 minutes. Well, let's see. So we've made it to Duna. We figured out that I messed up on the relay dishes, but we at least have some small connection to Duna now. Where do we go from here? Well, there's obviously several more planets that we need to get to. Using the science that we'll get, we'll be able to eventually make our way towards it. But I think we'll end it here. So this will be the last regular Kerbal Space Program episode that I do. I might put one in here, do another Kerbal stream at some point. Gerardo says, new record for you, 2 hours and 30 minutes. Nah, I've done longer. This might be relatively long for Kerbal Space Program, but I think the longest I've done was a bit over 3 hours as far as my streams go. I think that might have been StarCraft, something like that. Anyways, folks, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like. Always helps out the channel. Omar says, nice, when's the next stream? So, generally I stream on Tuesdays, but this next Tuesday I'm probably just going to do another video for StarCraft because I work at 10 a.m. in the morning on Wednesday. So, well, the following week after that, Tuesday streams should be normal at the midnight Tuesday night and Thursday night and that sort of thing. Gerardo says, no, I don't like to leave likes. So yeah, the next stream will actually be Thursday night. So next Thursday, we'll be starting out Fallout 4. So that should be a nice, exciting stream. It's going to be a Fallout 4 survival mode. I haven't decided what mods I'm going to use yet. There'll probably be at least a couple mods, though, that I do use. So we'll figure it out, and I'll leave it in the description when I actually start the stream and all of that fun stuff. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So, alright folks, thanks for watching, and I will see you all later. Oh, and don't forget, if you want to get in touch with me, be sure to check out the Discord link in the description below. You can always chat with me on there if you need to, or anything like that. Give me ideas for videos or streams or that sort of thing. Go on there, leave me some comment, or, well, you can leave a comment on here if you think of any mods that I should do for Fallout 4, or you can check me out on Discord and leave me some ideas there as well. So, thanks for watching, folks, and I will see you all later.